Well, Steve and I had done a film before, and we were looking to work on something, and Steve brought me a script that I read, wasn't to my liking, and we didn't do it in the end. So we started talking about something.
Yeah.
As you do. We started to invent something with a tiny idea about a guy in an institution who needed to get out, and that was all it was. And then slowly but surely, we talked it up.
We realised that wasn't sort of strong enough, just having one guy, on his own.
Yeah.
We had an idea of making a film with maybe one or only a few actors.
Yeah.
So it just sort of expanded into, well, what could happen,
So when did the variety acts come into it then?
Well, that sort of grew out of, we started to discuss about what is within people that you underestimate. Like what is the scope of the imagination of the most insignificant person you think? Think of somebody, well, you take for instance, most of the most horrendous serial killers in the world tend to be, unlike people in cloaks with daggers, they tend to be ordinary guys, often in a car coat, living in a suburb, So we took this premise as this guy, this insignificant guy, with the sort of thought of a Christie character, like 10 Minutes in Place. So that's where we got the look from a little bit. But somebody really is the most insignificant, possibly the most boring person in the world, an enthusiast with a collection of things that is of no interest really to anybody.
His Radio Times covers all on the world.
Yeah, all that, and all these characters, and all these, and I have this great love and memory of these things from childhood. And Steve and I literally started talking, summing them up, didn't I?
Yeah,
and,
absolutely. Yeah.
I would talk about it, and we would do it, and then Steve would chip in and add, and then he would always, I never wrote anything down, he went away and structured it, come back, then he would add his own stuff, and then we'd look at it again, and then it started to build, and really we had a structure, didn't we? But only a loose one, and then we workshopped it for a week before, really intensely, before we started shooting. So we had the knowledge that we got the money, we had a schedule, we had a crew, but we had to get this thing together.
Right.
And then,
once we started shooting, we were still changing it and getting ideas. So right at the very last minute, Tim had some ideas, or I had some ideas, and so it was,
Yeah.